Today is 12th of March, 3:40, 1 hour before the market close. This is the daily chart of STI. Currently trading with a long-dated doji down 13 point at 4850. This is a sign of uncertainty. Over here, we have a bounce, but with today bar like this, it's more likely to actually move down further. Notice the 1326 SMA is actually downward pointing. Now this gap here will provide some kind of support, and there it is at 4778. The more significant support is over here, which is the low of this bar, and that is at 4697. Now if you actually take a look at the major moving averages, it is actually approaching the 100 days. So this is something we to look out for. Breaking this support will be negative, and we may see a test of 200. By and large, actually, market has been trending for quite some time, so it's actually perfect for it to actually correct. The only thing is the magnitude of the corrections. Now, if we can actually consolidate sideways, that will be generally positive. Now, let's take a look at the weekly charts. With the 1326 week plotted, so you can see that our trend is actually very well established, and notice the increasing of daylight, so it's prone to retracement, and this is what we are witnessing right now. So again, if you can consolidate very much like this, form a base, and then we like to see a next upward move. Now this is the charts of the Nasdaq. This is the weekly charts. Notice the conversion of 1326 SMA, so it's much weaker than STI. Now, I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, we see an attempt on this high that was sometime in January, early January. So we already noticed the weakness. So after the launch of the attacks by US, the joint US Israel forces, we see further retracement. Now this level here is important. This low here is at 21898. All right, this support here is important. Breaking this, it will be very negative. Now we can take a look at the major moving averages. So you can see actually we are testing the 200 days. So breaking this 200 days will generate negatives, and we are likely to see further downward. So it's important to actually test this level hold, and again may perhaps consolidate from a base. It's going to take some time. So market is likely to be choppy unless the environment in the Middle East becomes certain. The situation stabilizes, that will provide positive sentiments for the equity market. This is the chart of Brent crude. You've noticed very high volatility. If you notice actually over here, we have extremely strong bar here. This is an extension bar, and of course, it's overextended, and that's the reason why we see these downward reactions. We have a gap right now at this point in time, but there's a price rejections of $100. $100 is a psychological level. It's trading below that right now. So again, very much depend on the situations in Middle East. And that will also have influence on the gold. At this point in time, we see a weak bounce after this wide range reversal bar. So again, this may well move down, but to some extent, it is actually influenced by the US dollar. We notice the US dollar has strengthened quite recently, and that's affected the gold price. Let's turn back our attentions to the local markets. Let's focus on the strong stock first, the small cap stocks. This is Pan United. So after 5-month consolidations, you actually break out on the upside. And over here, we have a pullback, and it actually broke out yesterday. Now today, it traded a long-dated doji. This is not so good. It's a sign of uncertainty. It's likely to pull back. During a pullback, look for setups to go long. 1326 are well placed, and they are diverging. CSC Global, a bit messy, but generally actually held up well compared to many stocks. It is still trading above 1326 SMAs. We do see a price rejections. So again, it's too early to trade these stocks, but I would like to actually observe going forward to see whether it can actually form a base. Notice that actually 13 SMA is actually flattens. In fact, it's converging with 26, which is still rising. So it's a sign of weakening momentum. So likely to actually trade sideways. Palm oil stock actually shows some strength, in particular First Resources, very strong extension bar here and experiencing pullback, which is perfectly normal given the huge daylight here. So if we can continue to trade sideways, we look for eventual break above this high here of 281. Wilmer managed to take out the resistance and make new high today. Look for pullback, look for a new setup. Bubitama, this is less preferred for the obvious reason we do have overhead resistance here. We can look for pullback and look for a break on the upside. And if you clear this resistance, it had to be with much convictions on increased volume. So among the three palm oil stocks, First Resources is the better bet. China Aviation. Notice the dips, retracements, followed by a strong upward move. Okay, so this may well be part of a consolidation because usually after a deep retracements, we may see a couple of swing. So we just have to patiently wait it out. Bingguan is one of the stocks actually performed very well, but this stock generally has very poor chart pattern. Managed to clear this resistance momentarily, followed by a pullback. We would like to actually look for a decisive break above this high here of 41 cents. Nam Cheong. The stocks has actually have a deep retracement, followed by a bounce. Again, we'd like to observe. Prior to this sell down itself, the trend has characteristics is actually pretty strong. So I'd like to actually observe if it can consolidate sideways, that will be generally positive. The bank stock generally are weakened, so unless we want to actually take the trade on the short side, this is DBS. Notice over here we have a big dipper set up to shorts and right now experiencing a throwback. At this point in time here, it is a small dipper, but it's not likely to be actually tested anytime soon this low. So we just have to observe. You may well just trade sideways. OCBC, again you notice trading below downward pointing 1326 SMA, and over here we have a throwback. This is a small dipper setup bar low here. It's at 2014. UOB. At this point in time here, this is a big dipper setup. 2-bar countback low is 35.94. Just be mindful of the very obvious resistance offered by the major moving averages. Right, so in this case here, this is the 200 days. So we would like to decisive break below this 200 days. Among the big cap stocks, some of them actually held up pretty well. That include ST Engineering. So at this point in time here, we have a small dipper setup. Bar high here is at 11.18.